It is like causing a lot of issues for people feeling unsafe on both sides.
As you can see, protests over the Israel-Hamas war continue. Overnight in L.A., we saw counter-demonstrators launching what looked like fireworks into an encampment that was set up by pro-Palestinian protesters. All of them trying to knock down the barriers that were set up in front of camp there. Classes today were canceled. And as we showed you, protests at UT Dallas, they also took a turn hours ago. It was a very active scene. We saw all sorts of things happening on campus today. And it was a step that pro-Palestinian protesters took after a meeting with the school president that happened last week.
So I want to set this up for you here because we saw law enforcement move in. You can see them here. This happened at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. This was all similar to the moves that law enforcement have made at UT Austin to take down the encampments there.
Our Jason Allen was in Austin last week, and he was also in Richardson during today's arrest. Jason, what can you tell us about what took place today on campus? You were there as law enforcement moved in right at 4 o'clock.
Nicole, I'm going to walk you through that. I just want to show you the plaza here where the encampment was set up throughout most of the day, and now it's wide open and people are walking through it, and the only sign that you would have that anything was here was maybe some spilled food that is still down. And that some of the demonstrators have been coming back to try to clean up. But it took a very strong show of force from armed law enforcement to make it look like this. We show you some video that we shot starting just 3 hours ago. And the protesters had been here since early in the morning, established a camp saying they intended to stay here until their demands were met. There was really no word from the university until about 3:45 when one of the protesters read a letter to people here saying that they had been told they would not be allowed to keep any structures or camp in place. And then we saw law enforcement from several different agencies march up to the front of the encampment and begin arrests. Some people resisting arrest, others going willingly. As you mentioned at the top of the show, 17 people arrested, and they very quickly and methodically then began taking down the tents, the awnings, tearing down the borders, the barricades that have been made of particle board, of chains, and of tires. They established a presence here. They pushed demonstrators back, took the time to bring in pickup trucks from the university, take all that debris away, and then just about an hour and 15 minutes ago, some more law enforcement came in armed with less than lethal firearms. When demonstrators saw that, they very quickly moved to another part of the campus, and as soon as they moved, all of the law enforcement also moved away. So Ken and Nicole, this was similar really in a way that what we have seen at the events in the other parts of the UT system in Austin where there had been attempts to set up encampment. Law enforcement took it down. This one was set up when it was still dark outside and was able to take shape. But law enforcement also taking action, making it clear that they would support the right of students and community to gather and speak, but not support them taking over a space on the campus. There are still some of the demonstrators here tonight. They have moved, Ken and Nicole, about 200-300 yards away, but there's no camp set up. It has really just been chanting and demonstrating that has been going on in that direction.